Oh shit, my hair all messed up. Nigga, hair all messed up. Welcome to G.o.d. TV. What it do-ski? What it do? Yeah, man. Oh, didn't even trip. We had a viewer on there, man. Trying to get this other shit going. My bad. I'm just trying to get this going on my phone, and I'm finna dive right into this shit. Finna dive right into the Crawford Porter fight. People trying to say it's rigged and all type of shit like this. And it's expected. But it's crazy that it's coming from the people who've been having the most controversial fights. You know, PBC been having the most controversial fights. Like literally, like with the draw with the Charlo and fucking Rolly Romero, all that shit. You gotta have a certain amount of followers to go live on TikTok or something.
This nigga in the city with the
torch. Yeah. Welcome to G.o.d. TV. We finna get into this Terence Crawford versus Shawn Porter fight. Make sure to drop the like button so we can get more people in here, so everybody can listen to it. We can get everybody's opinions, but some people trying to say that the fight is rigged, and they saying that Bud basically like ducking Spence somehow. I don't understand. The reason why it's hard for me to get it out because I don't really understand where it's coming from. Because all the signs show that Spence is kind of staying away from Bud, in my opinion, from what I saw. You know what I mean? So it's kind of confusing me too, and that's why I would just go talk about it today, man. On top of that, that's kind of fucked up to sit there and downplay that nigga Shawn Porter like that and downplay Terence Crawford like that because nobody said that when Spence won any of his fights. Nobody sat there and said it was rigged, none of that shit. So it's like, come on, bro. Now, I definitely agree that dad shouldn't have threw the towel in so early, but that's a father watching his son. Once again, it ain't like a regular trainer. I mean, it is what it is. Crawford was the better man. I don't even get how you can have that much hate after somebody put on a dominating performance and then you sit there and try to say that it's rigged instead of just saying let's fight. You know what I mean? Where everybody want to hear. We want to hear Errol Spence say let's fight. We want to hear Terence Crawford say let's fight. Thank you for the like too. I appreciate that. It's like, come on, man. That shit makes no sense to even come up with some type of allegation like that. I just look at it all as Terence Crawford hate. But I definitely was happy to see that Crawford had left Top Rank or he leaving Top Rank. I like the way he said what he said in front of Bob Arum. That was all dope. And hopefully it opened up bigger fights like Errol Spence Jr. You know what I mean? Hopefully Earl get backed into a corner where he gotta fight him. You know what I mean? Sorry about that. But yeah, though, I think maybe if he signed to the right company or maybe even be a free agent. I think that's what Mayweather had an interview, talking about Terence Crawford, giving him all this credit, saying that Terence Crawford is number one pound for pound. And he said if Crawford is free, Mayweather said, we got another person in here. Make sure you drop a like. We talking about this Shawn Porter and Terence Crawford. People trying to say the fight is rigged. You know what I mean? But anyway, Mayweather said that he definitely will work with Bud and get him the fights that he's looking for. You know what I mean? It says, yeah, it's just a bunch of weird conspiracy theorists trying to downplay Bud. I have no clear idea what's up with Spence and Bud though. Yeah, it really doesn't make no sense. And shout out to Rudolph Riviere Jr. And sorry if I said your name wrong too. Um, yeah, I don't understand it either. Spence body language, everything, it just disappointed me. Like my thing is I'm not biased towards neither one of these dudes. I'm just gonna always be a favorite of the person who seemed like he pushing the fight. You know what I mean? That's gonna always be the person I'm going for if I feel like you the one trying to be the aggressor towards the fight. Why wouldn't I? Why would I go for the person who's not taking the fight? I just don't understand that, and I don't understand how fans can accept that. I can't think of one welterweight or lightweight or anybody I don't want to see my favorite boxer fighting. You know what I mean? It just doesn't make any sense to stay a fan of somebody who's not going to fight the people that you expect them to fight or want them to fight. It make no sense. I'm hoping that maybe Spence is just pulling one over our head. He acting like he not really into it, but he really trying to make the fight happen behind closed doors. I'm hoping that it's type of situation like that. But we only can hope for it. On the other hand, it seemed like Bud got a lot of options right now. He got Keith Thurman calling him out. Keith just said that he'll be happy to fight him. You know what I mean? He said 8 months from now. That seemed kind of far away. It might be sooner than that, if anything. Um, then you got Errol Spence. He gonna need a fight. And Ugas is out there. He even said he might go up to 154, so he could get a fight. So Bud got options right now. He definitely got options right now. Options that wasn't available before this Porter fight. Um, yeah, from reading the comment right now, it said, yeah, from what we saw, Spence looked bad to just leave like that. Remember when Canelo wanted Triple G, he called him up to the ring. That's how it's supposed to be done, but Spence didn't do anything. I totally agree. I totally agree. I totally agree. And it's crazy because I was listening to somebody channel today that I always like his opinion. I always like what he say, but he kind of disappointed me. It let me know he a little biased when it come to Earl Spence because they acted like what Spence did was okay, and it's not. Because if you want the fight, you go push for it. You go say, yeah, I'm here and I'm ready to fight you next. I'm ready to take you next. Shane Mosley, he walked in the ring on Mayweather. He walked in the ring, right? Shane Mosley walked in the ring on Mayweather, and he forced the fight. He pissed Mayweather off so much that Mayweather was like, "Nigga, I'm fighting this nigga, whether my promotional company want me to or not, whatever." That's what it takes. You got to force the fight. And from the past few years, I've been saying, out of the two, I favor Bud more because he pushing for the fight. Nah, it wasn't even Monty Brown TV, and I don't even want to say who it was because I don't want to bash nobody channels. but it just let me down because I do listen to this person. You know what I mean? I'm like, I prefer to listen to channels that's not so biased though. You know what I mean? I try to not be biased myself. I try to give an honest opinion on how I feel. You know what I mean? I will tell you my favorite fighters and also tell you all their flaws and what they need to be doing too. You know what I mean? I want to see the best fights get made. And I think sometimes, some of these channels start off the same with the same intentions as me, and they end up going towards the bias route because certain boxers favor their channel, and you know what I mean. But I think it's cool to stay truthful throughout. You know what I mean. I'm not gonna be biased for anybody, and I don't really care. I don't really care to be biased for anybody. You know what I mean. It don't do nothing for me. I just want to see an entertaining fight, just like we see entertaining football games and entertaining basketball games. You know what I mean? Shit. I like I Yeah, it's all good. I get where you're coming from. I stick to biased channels too. Exactly. You know what I'm saying? It's like, oh man. It's either what I see on YouTube is either you're hating on Canelo or you talking shit about Canelo and you praising certain fighters, or you talking shit about certain fighters and you praising Canelo. You know what I mean? You talking shit about Charlo and all these fighters and you praising Canelo. You talking shit about Devin. So it's just like a back and forth. I just will want to be in the middle, if anything. You know what I mean? And I'm definitely gonna have a lot more content dropping on the channel, a lot more like documentary type videos. I'm working on a lot of stuff. Just be patient with me. You know, yeah. Oh, yeah, I know what you meant though. I know what you meant. But yeah, though, shit. You gotta call it. You gotta call what you see. You can't fool my two eyes. You can't fool my eyes and ears. Tell me. I think people forget is footage of Errol Spence and Crawford in each other's face, betting $1 million on the fight. You know what I mean? People forget about this, that they can just type it in and find this footage. You know what I'm saying? Do they forget that Errol Spence? He also said he wasn't worried about Bud, but when Bud said he not worried about Spence, everybody take it like it's something like he don't want to fight. When he just saying he ain't worried about him because he can't get the fight. So let me know this: what you feel about Crawford fighting Josh Taylor? Do you think it's kind of a waste, or do you think it'll be a good fight, or do you think Josh Taylor need to fight some other competition at 147 first? I want to know what you think before I give my opinion. Me personally, like I think that it's a okay fight. I think it's a cool fight, but it ain't it's not the best fight to be made. And Bob Arum is on drugs if he think it is. We all know what the best fight to be made is. That's Errol Spence versus Crawford. That's a power move, honestly. Wait till Spence gets another fight. I have a feeling Spence is lacking confidence after having that injury, which is understandable. You know what I mean? Coming off two injuries, damn near. But I mean, hey, less talking and more action. You know what I mean? Why even show up to the fight if you ain't ready for it? I think that he went there with the intentions on Crawford losing. Rather, he gave a prediction on Crawford winning. I think that was just his boxing mind saying that, but his emotions wanted Crawford to lose. That's why on his scorecard he had Crawford down. And if that's the case, people can say the same thing about your fight you had with Porter, that you was down. Because Porter was doing just as much work to your ass, if not more. You know what I mean? Like, so I can't fool the two eyes, man. You can't fool two eyes. I just made you a moderator too, cause I'm like, shit, you damn near my first person on the channel, first person a part of the family. So you might as well be a moderator on the channel and make sure these haters ain't doing too much. Definitely got a lot more content finna drop though. A lot more lives, a lot more all of that. You know what I mean? Better equipment coming, everything. I'm gonna make sure this channel do get heard and do get seen, because we got a lot of shit to say and our voices will be heard for sure. I think that Spence, if he take a tune-up fight, it needs to be a good tune-up fight. I think that Crawford, in the meantime, if he can't get Spence, he shouldn't fight Taylor for some reason. I feel like Bob Arum want to fuck him over with that fight. I don't really trust that fight, especially if it's in the UK. I don't trust the fight. Show up to the fight. True, why would he show up to the fight? From what I heard, Spence was barely cleared for sparring too. See, that's crazy. It's like, come on, man. That's crazy. And I was hoping he'd be in better condition, by now and ready for a fight. Like I said, I want to see these guys out here fighting, and I want to see them fighting each other. Win or lose, I'm a fan. I'm a fan of boxing, so um, shit. I forgot what I was just saying before that, but I mean, shit. Like I said, with this boxing, we just want to see less talking, more contract signing, more fights being made. It's been a good year for boxing. It's finna end off good. It's ending off good. Boxing had so much good fights this year. You know what I mean? And we just wanted to get better. There's so much better fights to be made. You know what I mean? And we ready for it. We ready. We've been waiting. It's a lot of talent in the lightweight division, the welterweight, the featherweight. You know what I mean? So we want to see them all. See them all fight. What you feel about Teofimo Lopez and Shakur Stevenson? Them talking about that. Do you think Devin Haney should be getting that fight first? They saying Tank and Teofimo too, so they already selling this fight as if Theo go win against Camboso. So what's your thoughts on that? What you think? How you think that's gonna turn? I think everybody underestimating Camboso. This dude is built crazy. Got a weird type of build, and he undefeated, so his confidence is up there. And you never know with boxing. You never know what can happen. You know what I mean? Like Cambosos ain't no pushover from what I see, and I don't think it's gonna be as easy as everybody making it. Tiafimo is a great fighter. He got a lot of skill. His defense it ain't that great, but it's okay. You know what I mean? But if Cambosos can do more than Lomachenko, and if he got a chin on him, Tiafimo might be in for a night. What's up, mama? Yeah, we was talking about Shawn Porter and Terence Crawford fight. People saying it's rigged. We done already went over the fact that we don't feel like it's rigged over here. And in this chat room, we feel like it was a good win. I know me personally, I feel like it was a good win. I think Porter was doing this shit. I think Porter did great throughout the fight. But I think after the fifth, I think Crawford figured him out. I think Crawford knew to keep his range, hit him with hard outside punches, and inside shots they only sting you, they don't buzz you, they don't hurt you that bad. But when you getting hit with outside shots, that's counter punches. There go the real story. Yeah. Say G.o.d. But yeah, though, Porter was doing good up until the fifth. Crawford stayed on the outside, figured him out, and he did what he had to do to get the win. Javante Davis needs to fight a top fighter. If he beats Isaac Cruz, either Haney or Loma. Yeah, I agree with that. I think they trying to build the Haney and Davis fight just based off the relationships with Mayweather. I can tell they trying to build that fight up to be like a big fight. But yeah, Tank definitely. I think that they doing good picking this competition, but I would love to see him fight Haney, Loma. I would want to see him fight Haney tomorrow. You know what I mean? That's the fight that I think everybody waiting for. But I think that it is a lot to be proven. I think that it's a lot of people that you got to show you can beat them. You know what I mean? I think Haney deserves the Tiafimo fight because you got to show that you can go past some power. We seen Linares. Linares got a lot of power for sure, and we know Devin got a lot of boxing skills. But we got to know that you can get past a tank type of power, and Tiafimo is the closest thing to showing that so far. You know what I mean? So if he can beat Tiafimo easily without being hurt or whatever, that can make a statement where it's like we got to see this fight with him and Tank. You know what I mean? Tank can beat up the boxer, and this boxer can beat up the puncher. So we need to see who's better out of the two. Which one is the better boxer? Which one is the better puncher? You know what I mean? Who's better at what they do? Sorry, that's what I meant to say. Make sure to drop a like on the channel. Make sure to subscribe. We all a family in here. We make sure everything is unbiased and we just speak our mind. You can speak your mind. You can disagree. It don't matter. I'm not tripping. I ain't banning nobody or none of that. But anyway, man. Uh, Sorry about that. Sorry about that. Boxing get crazy though. And yeah, I think Devin got to get past somebody like T.O. The thing is with T.O. is that he's looking like he's going up to 140 after fighting Cambosos. But the thing is, right? I agree with you, and it seemed like all of them plan on going up to 140. So it's like, they not letting each other leave each other because once Tank went up to do that fight in 140 with Barrios, everybody started calling him out at 140. You know what I mean? So that just let me know they are planning on going up to 140. These are young dudes. They starting to get their grown man weight on them, so it's gonna be harder and harder to make weight at certain weights. So they gotta move up. You know what I mean? And even if T.O. goes up to 140, he got a threat at Josh Taylor. If Josh Taylor stay at 140. If Josh Taylor stay at 140, he got a problem right there. He gonna have to get past that. And it's gonna take more than a punch to beat that man.
I was ready to play.
You know what I mean?
Bro, I was standing right here watching you play.
It's gonna take a lot of boxing skills to beat that man. It's gonna be more than a punch that's gonna beat him. And you see even fighters like Regis, he couldn't do nothing with him. Yeah, I think all the big fights are going to be at 140. I can't wait. I know I feel the same way, and I think all the ones who survive through 140, they go eventually go up to 147. You know what I mean? I think a lot of them go either in their career at 147, 154. You know what I mean? Because that's usually how it play out from how I be seeing. When you want to be the best, you move up a few weight classes, a few divisions. They already know their natural body weights and shit. So they know they got it planned. They plan this shit out. Yeah, 140 definitely gonna be crazy. Gonna be a crazy division, especially if the some of the competition that's already at 140 stays. If they don't go up, that's gonna be a lot of good fights to be made. A lot of good fights to be made. I like to see Regis Prograis get his rematch against Josh Taylor too, though. You know what I mean? That's the only reason why I feel like Josh Taylor still got work to do at 140. I got a lot of fights I want to see him fight at 140. I think he's super. I think he's super raw, and I think when he go up to 147, he is gonna be a problem.
Designed a character going to school with Steve Austin, high school sweethearts, I guess. Oh boy, I'm so glad to see you.
But yeah, though, man, that was my opinion on the people saying the fight rigged and Spence. All of a sudden, Crawford ducking Spence some fucking how. I don't understand it. What are your thoughts on Canelo? Oh, I can get my thoughts on that. So, what are my thoughts on Canelo moving up to cruiserweight? For one, I think it's a one-time thing. I think he's not going to stay up there. And for two, I'm kind of disappointed in Canelo because, like I'm saying about Josh Taylor, that is work to be done at 140. It's work to be done at 168. And you got undisputed, and that's great. But now it's time to defend that undisputed. Ain't that the greatness of it? How much times you defended your undisputed? Why move up and fight somebody nobody knows? Nobody cares about. Everybody's picturing in their head this fight with him and David Benavidez and this fight with him and Charlo, and it's not happening. So it's disappointing. You know what I mean? I gotta be honest, it's very disappointing. I would see him fight the top competition because they got him ranked. Same thing with Crawford. You ranked, so we want to see you fight people like Spence. We want to see you fight people like David Benavidez, and we want to see those fights. Yeah, that's my thoughts on that. I'm gonna tune back in a little later. Have a good one. Like I said, for anybody who missed the live and y'all tune in later, subscribe, comment. Shout out to I gotta say your name right, man. Rodolfo. Rodolfo. Shout out to Rodolfo. Make sure you subscribe to his channel. And I'm out. Have a good one.